good evening, everybody. Everyone except Tom Shanklin. I am John Barclay. I'm joined by my regular co-host Stephen Ferris, and I'm it was Tom Shanklin, but we're actually staying in the same hotel. But he couldn't make it to URC Unloaded, but I could. So let the record show that. Stevie, I've just jumped off a line bike in London, risked my life and limb to get here. We've not spoken in the green room. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, John. I'm really good. It's been a good week. Obviously, a good win over in Wales. Listened to your commentary, you and Jiffy, Nigel Owens, and who was the main commentator?
Andrew Cotter.
Scottish. Oh, Andrew Cotter. Yeah, yeah. So no, it was good. Really enjoyed that. Obviously, got the right result in the end, and yeah, it's been a good week. I tell you what, John, the media over here are just loving all this French chat, getting Thierry Henry in over the last couple of days for the motivational speech. France probably or possibly going for a 7-1 split on the bench. Like the media over here, honestly, I've never seen anything like it. It's on a different level. They're on a different level. So everything's building up nicely for Saturday. Was it 2:15 on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah,
So
it's a weird. I thought it would be a
that
later
one.
game, but then if they win at the weekend, it's pretty much a procession. They messed it up big style. The last game with
Yeah.
Ireland are playing, the first game it's not gonna be Super Saturday. It's gonna
Have
be something.
you any idea why they've done that, John? Because I've been reading like supporters and even traveling fans, French fans coming over to Dublin. Like it doesn't make life easy for them to get over the morning of the game. Like surely it needs to be looked at the scheduling of the games during the competition.
I don't know. All I know is Scotland are playing Wales, and we're a bit nervous. We're nervous now. We're
I'm
nervous.
nervous for you, mate. I'm nervous for you.
It's mad how quickly it changes, though. You think if you beat England, could still win the championship, and they could also be 0 from 3. Yeah, you lose that game, and now Scotland are thinking, God, we've got to beat Wales here, and then we've got to go to France final week. So it all changes pretty quickly, Steve. But
It does. It does. I
probably
was skiing, big man. I was the skiing.
I think if anyone can, I'm a bit depressed today, so I'm always a little bit dulcet in my tones, but it's tough coming back. It's tough coming back from skiing. 3 days skiing.
Why? Explain why it's so tough to the viewers and to myself. He's never been skiing, so
You
give me
go
a
up.
reason.
I mean, it's like you play golf. You know, when you go away with like a golf trip, and it's the first day, and you're a bit giddy. You're kind of all the guys about to. It's like that every day, and you get on the ski lift, and you got a little hit flask of whiskey, and you're going out and you ski a little bit, and then it's coffees and it's beers, and you just do that all day. You're in the mountain air. You're skiing far too fast, and you drink. You go to Apres. You know, yeah, mate, it's just wicked. It's so good. It's so good.
I need to give it a go. I need to give it a go. Like I don't even have any friends that ski, so like close friends. I must get on a ski trip at some stage.
It,
Give it a
it's
rattle.
not a cheap hobby, I'll give you that. But then that's the one thing my wife, not the one thing, she gave me some children, but she's also got a friend with a ski chalet, so that also helps. That also
That
helps.
does that.
It does help certainly. Nah, it was wicked. It was just needed a break, Steve. We're in February, and I just needed a little break from Six Nations. I know I was skiing a few weeks
Yeah.
ago, but that was with the kids, so it doesn't count. But I'm back. I'm back ready for. I'm in London today, and then yeah, Edinburgh the weekend, and then final round Six Nations, and then yeah, who knows what's next.
Lovely jubbly. Well, I'll tell you what, John, I've got a bit of a problem, bit of a dilemma because how's your back? How's your back been? Not too bad.
Fine. Neck's buggered, but the rest of it's
Do
fine.
you
Can't
know?
feel can't
Right,
feel my
I'm going. I'm going to tell you why your back is feeling fine because you're not playing any golf. Right? I have not played golf in months, and my back is the best it's ever felt for years.
nah,
And
golf
like,
quite good, mate.
I'm telling you, like as soon as I go back swinging, I'm going to have a bad back. I'm going to be depressed. I'm going to come on here low. So, mate, I'm positive the back is feeling great, and yeah, I'm going to go and buy a pair of skis, mate.
Yeah, do it. Do it. Although yeah, it's pretty hairy. I did had a couple of bottles of rosé wine and clocked a 70 kilometers an hour run down a black slope afterwards, which was not my.
Shit.
It's pretty quick. Yeah, I found myself going over like and like find yourself in midair without realizing you're in midair, going far too fast, and then kind of realizing, yeah, I shouldn't be doing this. But that's what makes it so fun, Stevie. That's the joy.
Yeah, yeah, bit of adrenaline, bit of adrenaline.
Yeah, we got to do it, mate. we're gonna jump in, Steve. We're a bit pushed for
Yeah.
time, and I was before my ski trip. I was over in the studio watching Munster against Edinburgh, and Zeebs was there, and this was lovely. Lovely to
Didn't
be
see
with
it coming.
this studio, mate. I'm telling, and I don't know what the pre-game talk was. I've not seen Edinburgh play like this. Maybe in 18 months, and maybe it's easier to say that, mate. They just attacked. Yeah, they let Munster back in. They had bonus point by half time. First phase try, second phase tries. Scrum was outrageous. I can't remember who the ref was. 8 scrum penalties, no yellow card, which was just madness. Munster were super poor. That being said, but I think there was a bit of pressure in Edinburgh before this, and there's a lot of questions getting thrown around about Edinburgh. And they got a good budget. We spoke about this a lot on here, but no results. So big result for Edinburgh, which is the table's weird at the minute because Edinburgh, for all we say they've been poor this year, still in I think they're in 7th now, and there's not much separating, top 4 from that now.
Nope.
Leinster and Glasgow are way out ahead. Bulls are up there, and yeah, but then it's weird the sort of mid table.
The thing is, John, if Edinburgh had a went away to Munster and got nothing out of the game, they'd be currently in 15th in the league.
Yeah,
like
and same as also lost. They could have been down 15th.
Yeah. Zebre's on 25 points and Edinburgh on 30. So take away 5 points, but yeah, fair play to him. The referee was Ganecci.
Yeah.
Ganecci, the Italian. I watched some of the scrums. I thought obviously Edinburgh got on top of them big time, but I thought a couple of calls were a little bit harsh. Fair play to Munster for coming back into it in the last 10 minutes and getting 2 points out of the game. But fair play to Edinburgh, John. A much needed win because it was backs against the wall there for a few weeks.
Well, yeah, they got beat Zebre at home the previous week, or 2 weeks before that. They got well beaten by a 13-man Zebre in the final 10 minutes. But yeah, mate, they needed it. Hamish Watson played. He's not played much. Played well. Luke, you ever see it? Luke Crosby injured himself with 6 seconds on the clock. First kickoff, goes to make a tackle, and he just walked off the pitch. Literally ran. Mate, gone. I don't know. I think he must have. It must be bad. I shouldn't laugh, but it was literally shoulder gone, straight off the pitch. Hamish Watson had a stormer. So tip of the hat to Edinburgh. We mentioned Zebre. We're going to talk about them next, Steve.
Zebre. Yeah. Zebre, mate. Zebre, fair play to them, John. They were 21-7 down. Yeah. And 10 minutes after that, 30 minutes gone on the clock, 21-7. And 10 minutes after that was 21-all. And really, really good the way they can bounce back. They've got a bit of belief back again. Your guy, is it Stavi Bravin, the 7?
Yeah.
Jeez, he is playing some rugby at the minute. Got himself a try. De Rea at 10 and Garcia at 9. Really good. Halfbacks seem to be getting the team moving forward a bit better. The skill set, the offloads. And yeah, Priscantelli at 15. He's just playing some solid rugby. But it was good by Zebre to come back into it, but Dragons 80% tackle success rate at 60% territory in the first half. They just don't have a cutting edge at all. And Zebre, in fairness to them, did have a cutting edge. And the next game is absolutely huge for the Dragoons, and of course they've got Ulster, don't they?
No, yeah, we're watching that closely. Dragons are poor. Zebre. People think it's almost like backhand. Everyone wants to see Zebre do good. I think anyway. You don't want Zebre going a whole season unbeaten. 3 wins on the trot. They've never done that before. I don't think. I think I'm right in saying that.
I think they have. I think they have, but it's before the URC was even amalgamated. Yeah,
under different guys, but Zebre. Yeah. We love it. We love it.
Yeah, fair play to Zebre. Dragons still rock bottom, but a team that are playing really well, John. Still got a game in hands, the Lions. Lions versus the Sharks. Just ridiculous. 6 tries they scored. It was 38-0 at one stage. Is it Ras at 13?
How can the Sharks be 38 or 31-0 down? I know it's at altitude, which I joke about, but come on. Come on, lads. Like,
look at the team sheet, John. Look at the Sharks team sheet. Like, it's World Cup winners throughout. Like, they've some unbelievable players. It has to be. They are a bit like the French teams in terms of like going away from home, but like seriously, like that really needs to be looked at from a coach's perspective. But the skills from the Lions was unbelievable. Frankie Horn try, Edwin van der Merwe try. Sharks just inconsistent, like, aren't they? Just I just don't get it. They're fourth. They're fourth in the table.
this is what I can't stack up. I cannot stack
So,
up. I think they must be top for yellow cards, and they had 3 in the last game alone against the Bulls, and they won that one. Yeah, I'm just looking through the team now. It's not even like their bench was like stacked. And you're like, what the hell is going on here? Like, so much talent. It is the spring, a huge chunk of the Springboks, and then they just go away, and it can be a good. Mate, they play altitude all the time as Springboks. It cannot be that.
no, it's definitely not that. It cannot be that. Shanks has the Lions tipped like to go deep into this competition. He thinks they are a different
Dark
level
horse.
this year. But like, Lions play the Sharks next week in the reverse fixture. So it'll be really interesting to see if the Sharks pitch up for that one. But fair play to the Lions, absolutely flying it. And yeah, great win. Great win.
Another South African win. There was all the derby, so there's going to be some South African wins anyway. But Stormers, mate. Stormers needed a win.
Yeah, they did need a win. Fuck, it was unbelievable. Considering the weather conditions, 90-minute delay. We were in studio actually, and Ben, the producer that day, came and says, "Oh, look, lads, we might be going on air like 45 minutes early because it doesn't look like this game's going to go ahead." But it did. Somehow they got the pitch ready. Ridiculous. Ludwig, the captain for the Bulls, leading his team out, didn't go his way. They were obviously beat 19-16, but the Stormers just played really well. 6-all, 9-all, 12-9 at halftime. Just kept themselves in it. Vermaak got a pick and jam try for the Bulls. Really strong carry in the second row. He came on early in that game. And it was just a north versus south derby, and a big result for the Stormers, and one that I probably didn't see coming, John. I thought the Bulls would have had too much power for them, but the out half, what's the out half called? Matty, yeah, for the Stormers. Like, he kicked so well. It had a few absolute bombers off the kick and tee in treacherous conditions. So they probably just done enough to win it. And obviously the last try that they picked up was at Similani, the up and under, bit of a hack on, and he raced in and got the try, and that seemed to be the final nail in the coffin. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. The Bulls are in third. They've got Leinster, Glasgow, and Munster up next. And then the Stormers have got Scarlets, Ulster, and Connacht. So both of them are going to go away over the next 3 URC weekends. It'll be interesting to see how many points they get out of those games.
Because Stormers had a few guys. I saw the interview a few weeks ago with Dobbo, and he was talking. The number of injuries they've had. Just look at, they had a load of guys back. Did the scrum get horsed? I didn't see this game. Did the scrum get horsed?
No.
No.
It was pretty even. Like, it was. They
had Malherbe.
A couple of early Bulls penalties around the scrum time, and then it sort of evened itself out. But the conditions underfoot, John, were just like, it was get the ball in, get the ball away. There wasn't really too much after that, and if there was, the referee was just pretty hot on it to
get it away,
penalise somebody and get on with it. Yeah,
fair play. I feel like we don't really know what's going to happen this season. Do you feel that? Like, we know at Leinster, we're going to get to Leinster in a second. It does just feel like there's nothing separating 3 to 12. It feels like there's going to be 4 home quarterfinal wins. It feels like there's a big from. We say that every year, I guess, don't we? To a certain extent, it's hard to see the rest catching the top 2 or 3 in the table, or just having any impact on them.
Yeah, well, sorry, John. The Bulls are home to Leinster and Glasgow, I think, over the next couple of games. So, like, that means that Leinster are going to be going away on their South Africa trip, and they're the next two games. So they've got the Bulls and the Sharks. So like, I have this feeling that Leinster could go the whole season unbeaten in both competitions. I don't know, like that sounds pretty far fetched, but like they played against Cardiff with so many youngsters, guys making their debuts. And they took their foot off the gas for a 20-minute period in the second half and let Cardiff back into it. And do you know what? I thought Cardiff were good value for their 4-try bonus point. Scored some really nice tries. Cam Winnett was brilliant. Sheedy was pretty good with that little short ball that put Winnett through the hole. And yeah, they were half decent, but the back row of Leinster, Deegan, Soroka, Will Connors was back again. Ross Byrne, who's obviously signed for Gloucester, had a really good game. Jack Boyle, who's been in the Irish system, come off the bench against Wales last week. He started in this game, got some more minutes. He played really, really well. The scrum went well for Leinster. Yeah, it was. It was his first cap. Yeah. He's a solid boy. He's quite stocky, like reminds you of a young Cian Healy. He looks like he could put on another 10, 15 kg easy. So for international rugby, but he's really mobile. And yeah, some of the tries were brilliant. Rob Russell try was awesome as well. So yeah, all in all, a good game, John. Great spectacle for the URC. Some really nice tries. Some young guys getting opportunity, and a half decent crowd at the Aviva Stadium, considering it's going to be full to the throat this weekend. So yeah, fair play to Leinster. They keep on trucking, mate. Top of the league by 13 points over Glasgow. So they're doing all right, eh?
It's wild. And you look at the team they put out, and just flicking through it again here, the guys, this is their seconds and a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Jimmy O'Brien, Tector, Osborne, Ross Byrne, McGrath, Boyle, who's playing against Wales, Slimani,
Snyman comes off the bench.
Penny off the bench, Turn off the bench. You're like, it's wild. I saw something today about the number of essentially contracted players, and it's like one from Munster, two at Connacht, and 12 at Leinster.
0 at Ulster.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say. It's, what do you expect?
Yeah. What do you expect?
Well,
here they got to win at the weekend. They got to win at the weekend, John. Against their old Scarlets crowd.
I know this was like a grudge match as well, wasn't it? With Peely and Jared Payne going back. And started well, but God, Scarlets are playing good rugby. I saw the highlights of this. Scarlets got a good skill set. Looked like I think Scarlets will be, and this isn't meant to sound like a backhanded comment, I think they'll be a handful in a couple of years. And that sounds like the most backhanded thing you can say, but they look well drilled. They're lacking a bit of firepower, lacking a bit of depth. But I quite like watching them play. Yeah, compared to a couple of years ago where you didn't know who they were trying to be. At least you know who they're trying to be now. But also managed to find a way back in. Was it sold out at the Kingspan or no?
No, it wasn't, John. And if anything, that was a slightly worrying sort of thing. Watching the game was like the atmosphere was a bit flat. There wasn't the same turnout, but you can understand why, John. Like they've been really poor, like over the last couple of months. Things haven't been clicking. The atmosphere, both on and off the pitch, seems like it's been in a really poor place. So it didn't matter how they got this result, John. It really didn't. They scored one maul try and two pick and jams. Like it's, the Scarlets played much better rugby, much better to watch, better brand, getting the ball into space, getting the ball to width. But Ulster just needed to find a way of getting it done. And when Fifita went 50 yards off a little flick up off the ground from Matty Dalton, which he didn't even realize he was there. And sorry, it wasn't him, it was one of the props, and he offloaded and he went the length. I was like, oh, it's just not going to be Ulster's night yet again because they've lost so many close games. But yeah, big shout out to McNabney. 11 carries in the game, 9 defenders beaten, which is
crazy stats.
Holds the record since 2015, I think. Jack Conan, I read that somewhere on Twitter. Scarlet's last 10 minutes in the game, John, you mightn't have seen it in the highlights, but there was a period where Ulster kicked the ball in behind Scarlets, and Scarlets didn't kick the ball off the pitch. And it was one of those ones where everybody in the Scarlet team were absolutely knackered, 76 minutes on the clock, something like that. And all he had to do was get it out. And he didn't. It wasn't even close to going out. And I think it was Stockdale who ran it back. Then somebody else ran it back. And before they knew it, they were 10 yards from their own line with 3 minutes on the clock. And they were just knackered. Like, so it was almost like writing on the wall stuff. So just a bit of game management for them. But yeah, Ulster got a sniff at last and took the opportunity. And as I said, John, much needed win, like just anything to get that result. And that would have been 4 home defeats on the bounce, I think, if Scarlets had turned them over. So big win for them, boys.
Go on the Softums.
Up the Softums.
Come on, the Softums. Yeah, where are they in the league now?
For your Ulster, man.
Where are they in the league now?
13th. They're still down there, John. The way the sort of games fell at the weekend there, like a few of the teams around that, 5th to 14th, sort of picked up points as well. The likes of Connacht, the likes of the Lions, Zebre, Edinburgh, they picked up, and then of course the Ospreys as well, which we'll touch on in a second. But yeah, it's sort of just, it was one of those weekends that didn't do any favors for Ulster, really.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, I know what you mean. They could have done with that, using the teams in their close proximity losing. Didn't work out, right? Connacht, big win at home though.
Yeah, huge win, John. Really entertaining game. I think this was probably the best game of the weekend. Big kudos to Benetton. Seriously, their drills were good. Their skill level was really good. Ball was sticking in the hand. They were getting the width really well, and they put this Connacht team under a serious amount of pressure. Like, Connacht come out of the blocks firing, as they're always going to do at home. Finn Tracy got that first try. Shane Bolton got the second try. By the way, how big Shane Bolton? Flipping heck. What a unit. He's like a James Lowe. Yeah, huge unit. Connacht were really poor under the high ball. And this is how the Benetton side got back into the game. Kept targeting Piers O'Connor at the back. He got substituted on about 50 or 60 minutes, I think. Just had one of those days. We've all been there. And it didn't happen for him. And fair play to Benetton. They scored some really, really nice tries. Andy Urin was brilliant. And who was the other one? Zanon. Albornoz was off the boot, was ridiculous. Isakor, Gallo in the front row. The only disappointing thing for them, John, is they got absolutely nothing out of the game. Nothing out of the game. 3 really nice tries, and didn't finish within 7 points, 38 points to 30. So disappointing, but Connacht were worthy of their victory, especially in that second half. They really did turn it on. That second Shane Bolton try was the moment of the match. Brilliant ball by Ioane over the top. JJ Hanrahan with the initial break. Matthew Devine with a little snipe as well to get in for a try. So yeah, they were good value, great game of rugby, and exactly what Connacht needed as well, because they've been a bit sketchy.
Yeah, a wee bit. Well, you said you thought that was one of the games of the weekend. I thought the Glasgow games, in terms of drama, I don't think anyone saw this result coming. Glasgow don't really lose at home. I don't know when they last lost the league at home, and they went 3 tries to 0 down within 15 minutes. Bonus point at halftime. Kieran Hardy was very good. Kim Williams was awesome at inside centre as well. I thought they mauled well. A couple of maul tries. And you're thinking, I don't know. I just was watching the game. I was like, how and Glasgow find a way back into it. Like, how are they back in this game? They're the champions. They shouldn't be too surprised. They get back, score a 78th minute try. 78 minutes 30. The clock is dead, and all they've got to do is win the kickoff and kick it out. Well, they win the kickoff, and then I don't even know what happened, because the ball comes squirting out, and they get done for. Mate, I don't know. I couldn't believe what I was watching. The ball comes squirting out, and then you end up with a kick in the last minute of the game, last play of the game, and Ospreys win the game. You're thinking, Do you know one of those games you think I actually don't know who deserved to win that game, because you go from Duncan Weir kicking the conversion to take them 2 points ahead, then Ospreys pen. It was wild game. I don't think anyone saw it coming. People might not like to hear this, but I was pretty chuffed the Ospreys. Played a lot of games for Glasgow, but I think the Welsh region, we want to see a league where, you know, Zebre are doing well. We want to see the Welsh regions really competitive. To make any result, to go away during the Six Nations and to get a win at the champions is an awesome result. So Mark Jones did a hell of a job there to get them to where they need to be. Will it cost? I don't know. Sorry, Pete.
Sorry, John. Who do you think? Who was the best player for the Ospreys? Like who really took it to the Glasgow boys? Because we've got to find a URC Unloaded player of the round. And was there somebody specific that you could say, do you know what? Because that is the biggest shock of the round, absolutely. And who nailed the kick at the end?
It was Walsh, wasn't it? Right at the end.
Walsh, will we give it to him, will we?
Oh, Kieran Williams was unbelievable inside centre. Jack Walsh kicked it. I thought Kieran Williams was making line breaks. He's like 5'1" or something. And just like all power, mate. Do you remember Nick Grigg?
No, he's not 5'1".
But he's not big. But he is like he's a bit like the way he runs, a bit like Kevin Maggs. It's coming north-south. It's not going east-west. But he's like nuggety. Made
as small as like Donny McFadden. Remember that guy?
Yeah, Donny. That's my mentor. I remember him. Of course I do. I thought he was wicked. Just for what I think he would be my URC player of the round.
Right, yeah, let's go for him. So let's go for him. Great win for the Ospreys. Fair play to them. And yeah, Glasgow. I think you probably agree with me. It's going to be Leinster, Glasgow in the top two. So, and they're not going to chase down Leinster before the end of the season. So, yeah, they'll take that one on the chin and move on, I'm sure, next week.
You'd have to think so. That's the wrap up of the game, Steve. We flew through it without shanks. Any rants this week, Steve?
John, I'm going to ask you the question. Are there any current players now, whether Glasgow, Edinburgh, Scotland, Scarlets, teams that you played for, that like sort of, you know, they would have talked to you a few years ago, but because you now work in the media and you might have had an opinion on the team that they play for or some of their peers or maybe them individually, that like you get like this cold shoulder now. It's really starting to annoy me. Like where I find it really tough to hold my water. Like
name names. Name, Steve.
No, I can't name any names. I can't name any. But it's not just Ulster. Like it's right through Irish rugby. You know.
Well, it's because you're so controversial. You're always slagging them off, mate. No, I bumped into like the Edinburgh lads once in like a boozer, and it was like a year after I retired or 2 years after, and I was like, "All right, lads," and they're like, "Oh, here he is." I was like, "What do you mean here he is?" He's like, "Oh, lads, watch out, John's here." I was like, "What?" I don't know. I didn't know what it said, and they're like, "Oh, you're always hammering us." I was like, "Well," I was like, "Fucking play better then."
Yeah.
Mate. It's a tough old balance to strike but you can only say what you see. And I said, lads, do your job. I'm doing my job. So like it or don't.
I think that like as a player, I probably didn't understand it. And I know many people don't understand it, but you know, John, the day that you retire, the bubble bursts, you come out of it and you're just be like, geez, I can't believe I held a grudge for that, or I can't believe it, you know, let something like that get to me, or, you know, at the end of the day, people say, oh, we don't read newspapers, we don't read articles, we don't read Twitter. They do. They're on social media every single day, so they're going to see opinions. So, yeah, that's just my little gripe. My rant is some players take opinions a little bit too personally for my liking.
Well, Steve, I always say I wouldn't, and that's what I say to lads. I said, I'll say it to your face right now. I'll never say something I wouldn't say to your face. So I'll repeat it to your face right now. And if you don't like it, well, that's fine. But yeah. That's just ruggers, mate. My rant of the week is we got quite serious there. My rant of the week is front peels. I think front peel should be banned from the game of rugby. Seriously.
Why?
What? Just a waste of time, a waste of coaching. When I see a front peel, and I bet Wales score about 3 against Scotland at the weekend now that I've said that. I don't know what game I was watching. I was like, lads, this can't be your best. It's like I would love to know the stats. How many front peels score? And if you don't score, guess what? You're on the sideline. And you're probably further out than you were 5 minutes. I think to ban them from the game. I used to hate them at training. I hate them now. And I don't know why. I watched them today and I was like, I hate these. Get rid of front peels. So if anyone in World Rugby is watching, get rid of front peels, please. Oh no, here we go. Tom Shanklin's joining us. Right, good timing, mate. We're just about to get your predictions for the weekend. Your sound's good as well.
Kick him off. Kick him off.
Ben, kick him off, mate. If you're 5 minutes late for the bus is leaving, mate.
Yeah,
you're gone. Yeah. You're gone, mate.
He's not part of this show. He's not part of this show, John.
Oh, Ben, get rid of him.
Get off. Get rid of him.
It's embarrassing.
Get rid of him.
Stevie, quickly before we go, final thoughts. Six Nations, Ireland, France. I know what you're going to say, of course. If I was Irish, I would say the same.
Yeah, I'm just not sure, John.
Oh, really?
I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. I think France are just going to be on a different level compared to what they faced so far. They got a bit of a scare in the first half against England. Granted, Scotland didn't really fire too many shots. Wales troubled them massively, especially with getting the width and the way that they held a bit more depth and had runners coming onto the ball. And the more frantic it got with Wales, better they looked and the more problems that caused Ireland. So again, that makes me feel like a little nervous this weekend. The scrum obviously didn't go to plan against Wales. They will come after that. Whether they go for a 6-2 or a 7-1 on the bench, they're going to have a fierce scrum. It's certainly not going to be pushed about. However, there is chat that Tadhg Furlong might be back in the mix as well. So, yeah, I think it's just going to be really in the balance. I'm going to say Ireland to win. Of course I am, just to make it all alive and kicking for the last weekend going to Rome. But it would not surprise me if France turned up and spoilt the party.
I'm kind of with you on that one. Oh, Tommy here. Mate, kick him off. Ruining a whole podcast. Ruining all our loyalty.
He looks drunk, man. He looks very drunk.
I think he probably is, based on what he was messaging me earlier. Mate, I kind of think the same. I just think France have got a big game in them. And France haven't really been, I know they lost to England, but they were so poor. Not really been tested. I just quite fancy France up front. And I hope for the tournament it's not a procession in the last week. So I'm going to say France just to put the cat amongst the pigeons. Scotland, Wales, I'm a little bit nervous about this, but I also think that's just a nervousness because Scotland haven't kicked on. So I think Scotland have to win this. They have to. I think if they don't, the consequences are much more dire for Scotland than they are for Wales. But I would say Wales are going to lose. Even if they lose, they lost to Ireland, everyone's buzzing. Green shoots, and as long as they keep seeing green shoots coming, they'll be happy. So put it this way, which camp would I rather be in this week? I think I'd probably rather be in Wales' camp. Nothing to lose, no pressure. But I can also see Scotland winning quite well. I don't know how much of Wales' performance was just that one game bounce and you see a reaction. I think Scotland have a plan. They'll be better. They were good against England. They could have, and I think should have won handsomely.
They should have won.
But they didn't. And then England, Italy Sunday. How good would it be if Italy won? How good would it be?
That would be good.
If Italy ran them close last 2 years or last year away, Italy have kind of been a bit up. I mean, they were so bad against France. I mean, so bad. It was like a schoolboy team playing, but I don't know. They won't. England are the only team left that haven't been beaten by Italy in the championship. We'd all love to see it, England. So they need
a bounce. They need a bounce back. Italy, that is, they need a big bounce back. So, like, there'll be chat all week, John, about what it means to play for your country, what it means to wear the jersey, who's worn it before you. Like, the emotion is going to be on a different level because last weekend it was embarrassing. Like, they were miles off it. Full stadium in Rome, the amount of people coming out to support the team, and it was an embarrassment. So it's games like that last week that then get people talking about a relegation system within the Six Nations, because that should just not be happening at international rugby with Italy playing at home. So let's hope they can put in a really good performance and beat England. Wouldn't it be great?
Oh, we'd all be buzzing. We'd all be buzzing across the rugby world. Mate, that was good, mate. We're done. I've got to go do a dinner now in London, I think.
Lovely.
What are you on tonight?
I'm on very little. I've nearly pushed the button to order a Tesla. Like, I've literally like nearly went like that. So I'm going to go and test drive one again tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Going to take it for a spin up the motorway just to make sure it's comfy enough.
Good for the back.
Yeah, mate. It is. It's surprisingly comfy.
Mate, they're good cars. I'm telling you. If Tesla, anyone from Tesla's watching this, sponsored cars all around, please. I already drive one, so this is not a plug. It's a heartfelt plug. Right, we'll be back after round 13, Steve, and we will be full into, apart from European rugby, which Premier cover anyway, we will be full steam ahead, for the run into the playoffs.
Cheers,
enjoy your evening, everyone.